Greetings, keyboarding and Word students. This is a video to help you get started in lessons 21 through 25 using the Gregg College Keyboarding and Document Processing software, which I'm going to refer to as GDP. So if you are watching this video, this means that you are ready to begin doing lessons 21 through 25, or maybe you've already started them. But I would like to point out something that I want to make sure you understand as you are completing these lessons. So when you are completing lessons 21 through 25, I'd like to make sure that you understand you still need to have each of the drills checked off inside the lesson to earn that green check mark. But notice now with each of these lessons, you will be doing a word processing drill. So when you get to these drills, you will be instructed that you need to use your word manual. And the word manual is the smaller book that came in your kit that looks like this. And be sure you're using one that indicates that you have Word 2016 inside your kit. But you're going to be using that when you begin drill 21E, which is the word processing drill. Now, each time you get to these drills, you need to be sure that you do use each of the buttons that are in these lessons. So in this particular lesson or drill, you first need to download a file. If you do not hit these buttons with each drill, you will not earn credit for having completed them. So when you click that download file button, I would like you to save as, and then you need to find your jump drive, and hopefully you'll create a folder on your jump drive, or maybe if you're working from home you want to save it in your documents folder. But wherever you save it, may I suggest to you that you put it in a folder either labeled keyboarding, as you can see mine is labeled OAS 51. The software automatically gives it a file name, which in this case is practice-21, and you can go ahead and click save. And I've already saved it once, so I'm going to say yes to replace it. And now they're asking you to open it. Well, I don't want you to open it at this point because we need to click on this Start Work button. So we will close that, hit the Start Work button, and this will actually open a Word document for you. If you get this on your computer at your home, go ahead and click Allow. It's a security question to make sure it's okay to open that file. So it's downloading this file for you to your computer from the GDP software. When you open this file, you'll probably need to click on Enable Editing. So go ahead and click on that. And now you can follow the instructions starting in the Word manual on page 21, just as it says here, to go through each of the steps in the Word manual, learning how to use Microsoft Word. So basically, lesson 21 is simply going to be teaching you about the vocabulary that will be used throughout the book using Microsoft Word. So for example, this bar is referred to as the ribbon. Each of these buttons up here at the top are going to be referred to as tabs. And notice as I click through those tabs, there's a different set of tools on the ribbon for each of those. When I click on the Home tab, notice I have the font tools are available to me on the ribbon, but I can also click on that down arrow in that section, and when I open this, it opens a font dialog box. So when they ask you to open the font dialog box, they're going to tell you to use this launcher button, and that actually opens those boxes. So here's one for paragraph. It's the paragraph launcher, and that's opening the paragraph dialog box. So When you're going through Lesson 21E drill, I'm asking you to read through the book and get familiar with the vocabulary that they're going to ask you to use. They will eventually ask you to open the file that you have downloaded. So you will click on File, Open, and you will need to browse to the location that you saved that file earlier. So that's why it's going to be important that you keep things in a folder and you know where you're keeping it. All right, when you're done working in Word and you've completed the information in the Word manual for Lesson 21, you will go ahead and close the files, and it takes you back to the GDP screen. So I mentioned already that you need to make sure you hit each of the buttons on the screen, and the last thing you need to make sure you do is hit the Next button. Again, if you don't hit Next, you will not receive credit for doing that drill, which basically means you won't receive the green check mark. So as you can see, I've earned credit for doing lessons 21 and 22. I have a green check mark for each of the drills in 21 and 22. But will you notice for me that in 23, the only thing I have done to the date is the word processing portion, which is the one where I went to the Word manual and I went through the steps in the Word manual as instructed in that book. So you would flip from the big book over to the small book, hit the Start button, open your manual to Lesson 23, and go through the instructions that are there for you. Until I have completed all these drills, however, I have not earned credit for doing Lesson 23. So notice there isn't a green check mark. The same with Lesson 24. I've only done the word processing drill in Lesson 24. Now in Lesson 25, I am going to allow you to just do the drills, and you will not be required to do these email messages. These are actual documents that you would be asked to create using the textbook. You may skip these two documents, correspondence 25-1 and 25-2. So even though I have completed all of the required drills, do you see how I'm still not earning a green check mark? And that's okay. So if yours looks like this and you didn't receive a green check mark, but you have a green check mark on all the others, then you have completed all of this work and you are good to go for lessons 21 through 25. Okay. Please be sure and write me a note if any of this is not clear and you need more help. Keep up the good work, students.